Good evening, this is Youth Works. Last week we saw one young entrepreneur from a mall with a fish business, and this week we are going to have George William Mugyenyi from Nakasongola with God Start Exchange Farm Project. I would like to encourage even the youth who are not yet in business that you witness that it carries commitment, passion, and also hard work for anyone to succeed in any line of business. I believe as you watch in the next 24 minutes, you will be inspired, you will learn new ideas of how you can also do something unique. Let us graduate from sameness as the youth.
It has agriculture as its major activity, with emphasis on food crops and the main languages being Luganda and Lululi. Nakasongola district was created in 1997, breaking away from Luero. As of 2010, the district was estimated to be containing about 163,600 people. And amongst this steadily growing population, William Mugyenyi does not deviate so much from the major economic activity, with his bit being livestock.
I was born from Zimbabwe, though my father originated from Tungamo, so he came migrating as a pastoralist. So from Tungamo to Zimbabwe, that's where I was born. Then when I was born, they transferred this side to Nakasongola since around 1992.
It's 6:30 a.m. George wakes up to start his day with what he has associated with since childhood: cattle keeping. From his humble background, what really drove this commerce graduate into holding on to livestock after his father?
I like people starting when they are still young. I don't need to wait when I'm retiring at the age of 50 to start doing businesses. But more to that, I see the ranch that our father left for us as a big potential for business opportunity. And now that there's a lot of market growing, I'm trying to utilize whatever opportunity that comes out, but using my inherited experience of ranching and pastoralism.
This young entrepreneur describes what is entailed in a Good Start Farm Exchange project.
It has three components. One is helping farmers, the neighboring farmers. I buy malnourished stock from them, I fatten them, and probably sell it back to them or sell it to the beef market. So I'm kind of trying to provide market for the local farmers. Secondly, I'm trying to create a beef demonstration farm. Nakasongola is one of the cattle corridors. It's in the cattle corridor, but it's also among the underdeveloped districts in the cattle corridor. And yet we have a lot of pasture land, we have a lot of animals, but the farmers here haven't utilized that importance.
With so much demand for livestock products rising worldwide, George has the mind to copy and learn from those that have already made it in the same business.
I've visited the Banut ranchers. They are in Liantonde, and there's one demonstration farm called, the farm is called Rabunindori. He has very good beef. I always admire to have that kind of ranch that can supply the rest of the country with beef.
Acquiring skills and having startup income before exploring any business is important. And this was not different with George's case.
After my education, I did a project called Microfinance and Entrepreneurship at Makerere University. So we did training for graduates, how to start small businesses using small microcredits. So from there, a group of people who I had trained started off a pancake making businesses. I got inspired from what I had done for them, but for me I had not really done it. So I thought maybe I could go ahead and start practicing.
You can never underlook challenges for a newly born business.
And then when I was starting off to concentrate on this project, I did not have any person here. I hadn't had one herdsman, and it was probably posing me a big challenge. I had to come regularly at the farm every time.
Outsourcing labor is not George's priority, now that he has reasons to defend this decision.
I base much on family labor. The two sisters are the core of the business because of, first of all, trust, and then secondly, we have grown up together. And since if I develop, they also get developed. But more to that, they help me recruit people who have been trustworthy. They have had experience in rearing animals.
There is that one moment when George realized that his business was destined to greater heights.
So there's a time when I sold off one animal and fetched around 1M. By then, I think it was around 2010, July, I sold off the animal. And I think that animal was, before like 2 months, it was like maybe in the cost of 500, very malnourished. It was too bad off. But when I asked the herdsman how we could look after it to see that it gets out of the flesh, we drummed it and kept treating it so well. Within like 3 months, it had gained an overvalue of around 500, so up to 1M.
With milk being the main product from these animals, George shares the output this livestock gives him in terms of liters per day.
In a day, it is 40 liters, I can imagine, 40 liters. Yeah. But most of it is consumed. The morning one, the early morning one is the one that is taken by people who are trading in milk. But in the evening one, it helps to provide feeding for the kids and people at home.
Why should someone fully engage their time in livestock and not any other business?
The livestock industry is quite a bit not riskier, like the crop. They are not so much severely affected by climate. And more to that, Uganda has so many pastoralists that understand the life of animals. So we base on people from different backgrounds to come and rear animals.
The benefits of outputting a product that is received well in the market are numerous. And George's line of business evolves around that statement.
Everyone at least takes a cow product. If you don't take milk, you take beef. I have found most people, at least you don't take beef, but at some interval you take milk. And it is recommended health-wise that you should take milk.
Out of this farm, George has been able to achieve a lot.
Whenever I have a need, maybe I need to rent out a house where I stay, or I need to pay school fees for some of my sister's kids, I buy off one animal and clear rent and probably pay tuition for my cousins and my other friends who may be interested in my service.
You would think that after achieving all that, George can as well rest. But he continues to venture into other benefiting projects.
In 2011, I joined up with my friend that we had finished up to university together, and we started an NGO. It crippled until 2012 when we got some funders. This project does sponsor kids, the orphans and vulnerable kids. So I do finance and administration.
This does not mean that it has all been smooth for George. He still has challenges to battle with.
The livestock farmers, our biggest enemy is ticks. Ticks, they are really very dangerous livestock, especially the exotic ones. We are trying to crossbreed and find exotic breeds that yield much, but they are also susceptible to these ticks and diseases born from ticks.
Like any successful business, planning is very key. And George has what you could term as untapped ideas.
I'm looking at putting IT in agriculture because the two projects are quite apart. But if you bring IT in agriculture, I suppose there's a lot of market, especially in the outside countries, that would want to buy organic beef.
For the youth, this resilient young entrepreneur has something to say.
Most of the youth want to sit in offices. You can imagine a day youthful life, they want to just sit. Me, I'm contrary to that. I think at this time, from the age of finishing school up to the age maybe of 40, this is when you are supposed to use your full physical energy and mental thinking. So at this time, this is when the head is so sharp. This is when the body is so energetic, you can do any other kind of job. So if you start off right now as a youth, by the time you clock 40, you would not need any kind of job to be employed. Probably be just a consultant in what you are doing here.
So our mentoring process will constitute us rubbing our science into your business. You must be able to forecast and put your vision clearer